Whoa, can I help you?
Potato Man.
Where the hell have you been?
Rudolph Hess was one of Hitler's earliest supporters, even sharing a cell with him after his failed military takeover in 1923. He is even mentioned fondly in Mein Kampf. When Hitler eventually came to power and made the Führer, Hess is made Deputy Führer. However, as time went on, his responsibilities became less and less, and he delved deep into the occult and astrology to help make his day-to-day decisions. At one point, he starts thinking he's telekinetic, like Matilda here. It was incredibly easy to see why so many in the Nazi higher-ups, and even Hitler himself, began thinking Hess was something like this. However, Hess may not have been as batshit as it would appear. After the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, the Nazis took on Great Britain and France, annexing the latter. Most of mainland Europe were either allies or occupied nations of the Reich, with a few neutral exceptions. Great Britain, being an island, was safe from the standard Nazi blitzkrieg that steamrolled over other nations, and with the Battle of Britain having the RAF beating back the Luftwaffe, the German war machine had been shown to not be as unstoppable as once thought. Although Hess was kept out of the loop for most of the war plans, he knew that the Reich would one day soon be fighting the Soviets, and that Britain standing in the way by simply existing was a slow drain of German army resources. As a veteran of World War I, Hess knew the dangers Germany faced if left to fight a two-front war. Hess came up with a plan. He recalled the Duke of Hamilton, whom he had met at the 1936 Munich Olympics, and thought if he flew to his estate in Scotland, then he would be introduced to Churchill and begin negotiations for a peace or even an alliance against the Soviets. This, to him, would mean that not only would Germany be able to fight the Soviets on a single front, and likely win, he would also be redeemed in the eyes of his beloved Führer. When he said goodbye to his family, he sent a letter to Hitler explaining his intentions, but saying that should he fail, for Hitler to simply say that Hess was crazy. On the 10th of May, 1941, he got on his plane, parachuted out near Glasgow, and was caught by a Scottish farmer. Said farmer can explain the rest in this archive news footage.
Yes, I'm the man that captured Rudolph Hess. Little did I realise at the time the important man he turned out to be. Hearing the plane, which appeared pretty low, I rushed out of the house, and the first thing I saw was a man in the parachute, who came slowly down through the darkness. I went over to the farm, and the only weapon I could find was a pitchfork. By this time the man had landed in the field, where I went out and found him stretched out and appeared to be injured. I helped him to his feet and into the cottage, where we made tea, but the man refused tea and would only have a drink of water. He said he was married and pulled out a photograph of his little boy, of whom he was very proud. He said, "I have seen him this morning, but heaven knows when I shall see him again."
Hess was arrested and interrogated. At one point he even attempted suicide, but he would survive and would spend the rest of the war in prison in the UK. This would be until the Nuremberg trials, in which, given his strong involvement in many of the Nazis' early crimes, was given a life sentence. He eventually hanged himself in Spandau prison in Berlin in 1987. He was 93. He was the last one of Hitler's inner circle to die.